buddies. So today I was thinking about, um, in my think tank. As you can see, I just got out of my think tank. So today I was thinking about all these moms groups that I'm a member of, and how it seems like every single one of them says, my narcissistic ex. One of my biggest pet peeves is for somebody to call someone else a narcissist. It bugs me to no end because most of the time, that person isn't. Yeah, shit didn't work out. Yeah, you feel like they're a selfish son of a bitch or they're full of themselves. Yeah, doesn't make them a narcissist. And, you know, when I meet somebody who says, every guy I date is a narcissist, that's a clue. Because the odds of being with a true narcissist that much is slim, because they're not. I think they're only like 1% of the population. So you're more likely to meet an INFJ personality type than a narcissist. Now, everybody is on a narcissistic spectrum. Everybody's got something that they're selfish about, that they are too proud of, or what have you. So I really don't like it when somebody, like, if you've got more than one narcissistic ex, chances are those were not true narcissists. A true narcissist will wrap you around and around and around, and you don't know which way is up most of the time. And sometimes you don't even know, like things ended well sometimes. So there's that. And then there's people who are always talking about disrespect. I was disrespected. He yelled at me. Now, if I'm talking to you in a calm and collected manner, and I say, I'm getting really tired of hearing you bitch, that is not disrespect. That is honesty. Now, there's probably, there's other ways to say that. If someone is yelling at you, or they say something that is intentionally offensive, if you're talking to me like that, me yelling at you is not disrespectful. It's not. It's me defending myself or saying, oh, okay, I did this. Okay. Let me tell you what disrespectful is. Disrespect is not respecting boundaries. If you give somebody a look like, you ain't shit, yeah, that's disrespect. You roll your eyes when somebody's talking, yeah, that's disrespect. When out of the blue you start talking about what that person needs to do for you, that's disrespect. Saying I'm not happy is not. If somebody is playing by flicking, like say they got like fake spiders or real spiders, and you're scared of spiders or snakes or whatever it might be, if they're sitting there going, ooh, it's gonna get you, that is disrespectful. And a lot of times people don't look at it that way, but you are ignoring somebody's boundaries. Now, that person's boundaries might be of the variety where it's not like a solid boundary, like, don't be putting a spider on me, you know, that may not be a solid boundary, but when they wig the fuck out and you laugh, that's disrespectful. Especially once, you just keep on and keep on and keep on. So people, it's also like, the ones that are always like, why is everybody always picking on me? They're not. They're not. You're just taking shit too hard. It's the way you see it. It's not that, you're not always the victim. Um, a lot of shit that happens to us is a cause and effect thing. If I come home and something's not done, and I'm like, oh, this makes me mad. He said he was going to do this, and he didn't do it. So I'm going to yell at him. And you go in there and you yell at them. And then they yell back. Perhaps they hit you. Perhaps they storm out the fucking house because they're going to leave you. Because they're tired of this shit. They're tired of you not coming home and being like, why isn't this done yet? Are you okay? Because I asked you to do this thing and it's not done. What happened? Maybe somebody gets tired of that. Or maybe they yell back at you and you say, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck this house. Fuck this place. I'm out. That person is not a victim. The guy sitting at home who didn't do what she wanted him to do is not a victim. They're both guilty of bitching at each other. It's just one of them was done. Same as like if that guy hits you. If somebody's going to hit you, I would think that you wouldn't really bitch at them. If I knew that screaming and hollering at somebody could get me punched in the face, I'm not going to scream and holler at them. I'm not. Whether that's a friend, a family member, or an interest, I'm not screaming at them because I don't want to get punched in the face. And if I think that that's going to happen, I'm not going to do it. I'm not saying that the woman who goes screaming and hollering into her house, knowing that this person might punch them in the face, I'm not saying that them getting punched in the face is their fault. But I kind of am, because if you know that that's a possibility, it's like the last thing you want to do is poke the bear. Because I know most people who do get abused, they don't ask for it in any way, shape, or fashion. They're doing their best to avoid it. So when you know somebody is going to attack or has attacked before in such a fashion, to purposefully go at them, that's kind of on you. Yeah, you can't, it's kind of on you. What? And if it's happened before and you allowed it, then he thinks that is acceptable behavior. So very few things are one-sided. So when I hear people talk about how, everybody uses them, everybody, just does this or does that, I don't like broad everybody, nobody, because it's like, to me, the ultimate truth is you cannot say everybody, because there's always exceptions. You cannot say Nobody, because there's always exceptions. Somebody says everybody loves me. No, no. I guarantee you, you can find somebody who doesn't. Everybody hates me. No. You're going to find some people who don't know you, so they love you because you're a human being, and you haven't given them any reason not to love you. Nobody loves me. Somebody's going to come up and say, I love you. There's always somebody. I've had many things happen in my life. Good things, bad things, everything in between. And, I've been told I'm like the queen of excuses. Like, if anybody needs an excuse to do something bad to me, I'll come up with it after they've done something bad. I will make an excuse for them. But I don't do that for them. I do that for me. Because if I can justify what they've done, I'm not a victim. I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be that person who says, everybody hurts me, everybody uses me, and no. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I've got scars. I've got baggage. I am far from good. But I don't want to say, oh, my childhood was so horrible and poor pitiful me. Like, I really don't want to feel that way about myself. So I will make excuses. I will say I'm not the easiest to live with. I will say I stepped out of line. I will say I didn't try hard enough. Now, don't think for one second that in my head there isn't a whole bunch of, but that motherfucker. There is. But I also don't want to badmouth a person, because I think that looks shifty too. If I'm sitting there talking, about how absolutely horribly bad somebody is, I'm not really being honest, because most of the time the people who didn't mean anything, they could do all kinds of shit to you. They didn't mean anything, so you're not really hurt. The ones that you fucking love, though, the ones that left and you didn't see it coming, or the shit that was perfect and became a big mountain of shit. Yeah, those are the ones where you really want to tear that person down because you were hurt. But it just makes me look bad if I say all kinds. To me, it makes me look bad to say all kinds of really bad things about my exes. I mean, yes, I'm going to say here and there, you're going to hear stuff, and I mean, like I will talk about these things. I'll say, he did this or he did that, or I wasn't allowed to do this or I wasn't allowed to do that. But I typically try to downplay it. Like, they don't see the tears, because I can say this is what happened, or this is how I felt, or he was a piece of shit. Like, I can say that about some people. But in all honesty, like, if I ever cared, I never stopped. And I also don't like to think that I loved somebody who was unworthy of it, because that would make me wrong. And I don't like to be wrong. I like to be right, so, and I can't shut it off. I'm damaged to the point of, sucker for pain. So I love people that may or may not deserve it. It is just how I am. I can't shut it off as much as I'd like to at times. But I really wish more people would look into the psychology aspect of what a narcissist is before they go calling somebody one. And look into what actual disrespect is before you say, nobody takes me seriously. Everybody disrespects me. Everybody's always walking all over me. You know, I've seen people who act like this and say things like that. And then I think about myself and I think about how many times they've walked all over me. And I'm like, okay, you are not a doormat, because I've seen you walk over people. So stop lying. Doormat knows a doormat. And and even with myself, you know, I see, well, it's not a big deal. Downplay it. Because it's not a big deal. To me, it's like, it happens. We all feel that way. We all feel like people take advantage of us, and we feel like, you know, this shit isn't right and that shit isn't right. This should have been handled differently than it was handled. You know, we all feel that way. We all go through that. I just don't like it when people blame the other person, when it's like, hey, you know, equal effort, equal blame. You know, I mean, he didn't say shit right, I didn't say shit right. He didn't do this, I didn't do that. You know, I mean, there's always like a cause and effect to look at. And so when somebody comes at me with the whole I'm a victim thing, I don't invalidate them. I don't sit there and say, get over yourself. No, I'll sit there and go, oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry. Dang. You know, and I'll offer advice. I'm not going to tell them that their experience is not valid. I'm not going to tell them, oh, your ex is not a narcissist. He's not. I've met him. He's not. He's not a narcissist. And neither was the one before him or the one before that. They weren't. No, I let them say what they're going to say, because they ain't going to listen. They're just going to say I'm being unsupportive. So I let them think what they think, but in the back of my head, it's like, they're not. Look up the term. Like, seriously, read about it. You know, do your research. It's just like you cannot diagnose them with schizophrenia. We are not psychiatrists. So anyway, that's it for me today. I hope you've had a good day. As always, every moment is an opportunity to turn things around. I hope that you have a great night. Bye.